No worries. I just want to
Okay.
say, first of all, this week has been so weird to me because last week I remember we were recording and you were talking about like, hey, yeah, it's gonna be my birthday. Like this week is like my birthday, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I messaged you because I was like, dude, I totally forgot his birthday. I forgot to message him. So then I was
Message
like,
me on my birthday.
so no, but then I was like, happy belated birthday because I was like, I didn't see it on social media. I was like, I bet I missed it. I've been so busy. And then
I
the
did.
next day,
I didn't really put out that it was my birthday today on social media. It's I don't really, but I did get a really, really cool gift if you want to see it. So for my birthday, my older sister, my Irish twin, who is wonderful, and my cousins that got together and got me a little something for my birthday.
oh,
Don
nice.
Julio, 1942, the big boy. And they thought that I was going to take it home and not make them drink it with me. I was like, this is a pretty expensive bottle and it's nice. Why would you don't drink this by yourself like a 40? You share this with the people you love for special occasions. So I'm really glad I was able to break it out and share it with my family for my birthday. And my sister's birthday, since we're Irish twins, is in about 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, we're about the same age.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to actually bust this open when it's her birthday and we can all share it then. But really, though, and I was thinking about this too, if you really, really want to make my birthday special, you should sing me happy birthday.
Oh, that's okay. We're
No,
good.
no, no,
So,
no, no, no,
so this week's
no, no,
episode.
right. All right. You ready to kick it off?
Yeah, let's get back into it.
All right. What's really good, Posters? Welcome to another episode of Love, War, Challenges. I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. In today's episode, Anissa is still fighting the allegations. Nominations get spicy again, and Will is a sassy little bitch, and I love it. But first thing we got to talk about has to be spicy nominations.
Very spicy. I mean, this was,
Super spicy. This season has been delivering on spiciness. So just to run everybody back,
but
okay.
so you were kind of talking about how this season's really been delivering on, I mean, just, I feel like all aspects. We've gotten a lot of house drama. We've had some pretty good dailies. We had some good eliminations. Nominations themselves have been good as of late as well.
Absolutely. Nomination has been great. Yeremi and Aviv finds themselves on the outs with their alliance. The teams of Michaela and Cedric and Nani and Justin decide that it's time for Aviv and Yeremi to go because they're too close to the final and don't want them to compete. Yeremi, fighting to stay in the game, wants to shake things up, waits for nomination, and stakes a claim on Will's partner, Olivia. During the face-off, Yeremi wipes the floor with Will and claims Olivia as his partner. So I I really feel like this is going to be a section that we spend a lot of time at, and I have
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of questions. The first one is, was it a good idea for Nani to tell Aviv that the alliance is turning on her? I know that Nani wanted to be, do the good thing, tell you face to face so you know what's coming, so you're not surprised. But this didn't really go as we wanted. So, what's your take on Nani's decision to spill the beans?
I don't want to like, crap at anybody's character and everything. But as soon as you say, I gave you a heads up, I was doing something nice, that's the last time I'll do something nice. If you're saying you only do nice things because you're going to get something positive in return, then you're not actually doing things that are nice for others. You're doing stuff for yourself. You're trying to make your game look a little better. So that way, if you do vote in Aviv and she comes back, well, I'm not as mad at Nani. The rest of the alliance is voting me, and Nani just has to do it. So I'm not going to. Nani's playing a game at every aspect. And her outburst is just a kid going, but you said we could get it. We could buy this at the store. You said so. And it's like, yeah, things have changed though. We're getting this. Like, we don't have the money for it. Just throwing a hissy fit. I get it. You want your whole plan to go out and work. But sometimes, especially in this format, in this game, I wouldn't tell anybody. When they can stake a claim, why tell anybody? Because the game allows that information to benefit somebody in staking a claim. So and Nani's reaction, I don't think is reasonable. It's not just, and I think it was a poor sport and a poor whiny child.
I'm a little bit nicer on Nani. I think her outburst it's just due to her frustration in the game. It's been a while. The season is long. She's just kind of overall frustrated. And even though she's making it far, a lot of things isn't going away. And as we get closer to the final, that pressure builds up. I also don't think that I don't think she's happy that she has to turn on the V, but I think she feels like she's making a game move. I think in her head, she wants to be honorable and not spring this on you, and not spring this on Aviv, so she doesn't want to blindside her, and, just kind of a courtesy. I think her intentions were well, but we all know the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Now, this is why it wasn't a smart move to tell Aviv, because her plan got completely blown up. Her plan was solid, and it only worked if Aviv and Yeremi didn't know going forward. I don't think Yeremi makes a split decision to stake a claim if he doesn't know he was on the board. Now, if he's surprised with his name being thrown out, then
Well, he couldn't then. He couldn't though. Like as soon as the vote started, if he has no idea and they think it's Theo and Adrian, as soon as Theo and Adrian vote, no more claims can be staked. That's the ultimate time. The problem with Nani's plan is that she can't say will, right?
right,
Because, you know, they're bedroom bros. And she can't say her own team's name. Okay. And then she just said, Theo, I won't say your name, makes another layer of a deal. And now I can't say Turbo's name. So now it's like I have to say Aviv's name. But then just do that. Like Aviv should like it's she made too many deals. If she didn't make the
yes,
deal with Theo and this
right,
whole thing happens, she can
right.
just vote for Theo. Aviv and Will vote for Theo, and Theo goes in. It's simple as that.
And here goes the funny thing is, they were getting on Anissa and they were getting on Aviv for being too friendly. Keep saying, oh, if you're in an alliance with everybody, you're
You're
in
in
an
an
alliance with no
alliance with
one.
nobody.
And the first one to fall victim to that is Nani. And I do think she is trying to play a good game here. And I think her game isn't that bad. But I do think a mistake like this is going to be fatal because now the rest of your alliance knew that you made an alliance with the other side.
And
And
here's
it
the
hurts
thing.
your alliance.
If she would just like here's the if when you make the decision to go in an alliance with people that probably can beat you in a final, then you've already made a mistake. Any season we've ever seen, has Wes and Jordan ever been in an alliance together? Really? Like
No,
really, but
because they
no,
both know what time it is. The most
because
you
they
get
could beat each other in a final. So they don't want to do that.
exactly, the most you get is, "We'll give you a pass this week because we could weed out a whole bunch of other people first before we have to start focusing on each other." And that's the best of game that is the highest level of respect you can
Yes.
give somebody in the challenge. It's like, it's not even that I dislike you, it's just that we're both really, really good. We're too good to be going at it this early.
Right. And so there's two ways to play this game. So we can go back to like Wes on Total Madness season 35, where he's like, Josh, this isn't a thing. I only go after people that can beat me in a final. That's one route. And that route is Corey's been in that route where he has, I'm taking on all the big names and
Yeah,
Dirty 30. So the problem though is that comes with you can get out strong competitors. You have a huge target on your back. So it's a high risk, high reward. Or you can do what Nani's doing. You shadow in with the top tier players, and then you get really far, and then you have to turn on people as we get to the end, which we've seen on Double Agents. We're seeing it now. We kind of saw with Big Threats on All Stars 5. This gameplay isn't new for her.
it's a common trope for everybody in the challenge.
Yeah.
And the disappointing fact is, and don't get me wrong, I like Nani, but the disappointing fact is, Nani, you've been doing this too long to make that kind of a mistake.
Yeah.
She painted herself in a corner, and she should have known better. If Michaela and Cedric made this mistake, no problem. We get it. Even Olivia, who is playing one, I don't. She's playing one hell of a game this season. Went from being the biggest target to no one wants her out except for her partner Will.
Yeah.
So if she was to make that kind of mistake, fine. But Nani, you know better. That's why it's so frustrating when we see Anissa do it season after season after
Yeah.
season and not improve the gameplay. Like, you of all people should know better. And we're gonna talk about Anissa later. The next question I have for you is, do you think Aviv was treated fairly with getting ditched by Yeremi, partnering with Will against her will, and then voted into elimination? I mean, really, the target of all of this was really Yeremi. Aviv wasn't really the target. And
Hmm. Here's the thing. Aviva's going in either way. She was either going to go in because she was going to get voted in with Yeremi, or she was going to go in because she was going to lose a coin toss. This move took her odds from 0% chance, or so from 100% chance of going in to 50% chance of going in. So, like, when you improve your odds that drastically, I think you have like, it's okay for her, even though, because even Yermi going over, if anything, Nani should have voted for Yeremi and Olivia. Her deal was with Theo. And if you do that, I mean,
I didn't get it. I was like, what the hell are y'all doing?
If you do that, Will might convince Aviv it's either us or Yermi and Olivia. And at that point, Yermi and Olivia might go in. Like they might. So her doing this move actually helped Aviv more than not. The only downside is that if the vote still went and she lost the coin toss, now she has to go into elimination with a partner she hasn't really worked with. That is the only part of this that hurts Aviv. I do want to say something real quick before we move too far from it. I don't think Nani's a bad player. I'm not dogging on Nani. I just believe that when you choose to be an alliance where there's like we have 4 core teams that are really strong, just take those 4 to the final. If you get 4th place, you get 4th place, but that's part of the game. When you play with strong people, that's a risk you take. However, if you get to that final and you beat those other teams, then you just beat 3 of the strongest teams in the game, and your win goes down as one of the best wins of all time. It's hard to pick and choose where it's like, we want layups. Okay, but eventually the layup might sneak through.
We're down to our last 5. There are no more layups. You guys
Not
got
anymore.
rid of all of them. There are no more. Everybody here deserves to be. The thing about it is, doing this move at this time wasn't going to be worth it. You didn't have to bust a move. It was she's a good player, but this was a bad game move, and I think it's going to end up being fatal.
I think what they should have done is if they could have, trying to think of when the best time would have been. So I think probably when a couple weeks ago during the haystack heist when Justin and Nani won, that
Mhm.
would have been the time to pull the move. Instead of voting in Adrian and Theo against America and Leroy, they should have voted in Yeremi and Aviv. And Nani could have been like, I didn't even get a vote. It wasn't even me. But she probably could have told everybody. She could have had Ashley talk to Theo, and they probably would have been like, yeah, Anissa, guys, let's all vote for Yeremi and Aviv. And then they would have went in and Nani's hands would have been clean. Mission gets done, but you don't have this disdain. Nani's been taking a lot of slack the past couple weeks, though, in this during nominations. She has been getting kind of pulled left and right. 2 weeks ago with Sydney and Turbo, and now this week with Aviv as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with that is just that the game was being played a little bit too tight. The numbers were a little bit too tight to try to
Yeah.
do that. Um, so, but anyway, you can't bust a move that big that late against your own team. And now you just put a huge target on your back because now they know you made a deal with Theo. So
You
what
know,
the
one thing nobody talks about is that Will was the most gracious loser in this whole thing. Will
yeah,
came back
he
and he
lost
was
for
like, "Oh
class.
yeah, he smoked me," and like it was like, "All right." But then even when he loses the elimination later on, which we'll touch on, grace. Winners talk, losers walk. People that do that and follow through with that, it's the best. He was more upset the fact that his like top 2 guy, Justin, just was quiet. And the girl he's, playing chess with every night in the bedroom d- couldn't just vote in Olivia. Like he was appalled that they wouldn't do that. I think the voting should have been changed though. As soon as the partners got mixed up, I don't think Aviv and Will should have had the second vote as the 3rd place team. Because remember, they vote
Mm,
in order that they finish.
right.
At that point, Nani and Justin should have moved ahead for voting ahead of the 2 teams that just got mixed up. Because we actually don't have a result for them. So I thought that was interesting because remember, they vote in order. So Theo and Adrian actually got second in this daily, which we didn't talk about. Like they continue to perform. They're voting at the beginning almost every time. And we've been kind of dogging on all season of like, man, Theo's not what he used to be. He's not the same. But him and Adrian, 4 elimination wins. They're doing well in dailies towards the end. I mean, so
Yeah, I don't hate the move. I just don't think that all of the options were really thought out because if it was really thought out, Nani probably wouldn't. Nani didn't plan for this happening. And she was caught off guard by that and she should have known better. Now, got to move on to something slightly serious. And I'm just not 100% sure how much you know. So I'm just going to give a quick background.
yep.
We're going to talk about
Sum me
Anissa.
in. I am off the Twitter sphere. I try until like I watch the episode, I try and stay off of TikTok comments or anything. So I think I might know where you're diving into. It's with Anissa and Will, right?
A little bit.
Okay.
More focus on Anissa. So
All right.
Nani recently appeared on Bananas podcast and made claims about Anissa. Says she exhibited weirdo behavior. After being bounced out this season, she apparently called Nani's ex Casey and reported that Nani was hooking up with Will and made the allegation that Anissa and Nani also made the allegation that Anissa also hooked up with Will after the
Hmm.
show. On the same platform, Bananas Podcast, Will downplays any hookup and basically says he was blacked out drunk and placed in Anissa's bed and woke up next to her. Didn't admit to any hookup during or post show. Now, I don't know the truth of the situation, but multiple allegations about Anissa's sexual behavior has existed over the years. On All Star, she was called out, not by name, by Kendall, Nehemiah, Latarian, and Kellyanne about her walking into people's showers. Uh, People who's also said this was also Corey and Fessy also said that she does this. And there's an incident where Alton said she hopped in his bed and her behavior was described as weird, inappropriate, and perhaps predatory. At this stage in her career, and with these allegations becoming more prominent, is it time for Anissa to go?
I mean, I don't know. Like all these like allegations and everything. It we have to play devil's advocate, right? Like, I mean,
If you want
she.
to, I kind of don't want to
I
play
mean, I don't
devil's
want
advocate.
to, but it's
There's
like the
so
thought
many
that
people who said it.
there's just like a mental thought process on it of like, does she believe that she's such a free spirit and just like everybody loves everybody and it's okay that this in her mind is getting justified as like, what do you mean? Like we're all people of earth. Like, I don't know, that spiritual being type shit. That's the only thing I could see because otherwise it's all very odd and it's like, maybe you should stay away from everything. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is kind of weird, but there are other people there. I feel like the way people talk with her though, like when we watch the episodes and she's like talking or she's partnered with like CT and they're like joking, it doesn't seem like she's this like threatening person where people
It's
don't
so
want to be
friendly,
around her.
right?
Right. So it is very weird. I'm not saying that this isn't true. All this could be true, but it's just like I don't think she's that negative to the point where I feel like production would do something. Like
That's what
if
I
the
feel like. But and I would say production has a history of dropping the ball when it comes to these kind of things. But now
Yeah.
they also have a history of kind of dropping the hammer too when it
Yeah,
comes
like
to these
too
things.
harsh sometimes.
And the problem is production has been inconsistent with how they apply these rules.
Yeah.
Because if you take Anissa's name out of it and you put, let's say,
Just somebody new.
Corey, and
Right.
Corey has allegations of walking into women's showers or women waking up and finding them in bed with him and stuff like that, it
Yeah.
would be a major problem. And for that, I would say at least have an investigation and at least let us know what you found. Because guess what? Your production, you have all the video. If she's walking in the showers, you have video of that. If people are being placed in the bed and she's walking in the bed with them, you guys have video of that. You guys could get this figured out real quick. Anissa hasn't commented on it. Several publications have reached out to her about it. Nothing has been said. So I don't want to crucify her just yet. But I think the allegations, I think just the appearance of wrongdoing here would be enough.
One thing though is that this many allegations, right? I feel like enough people would be like, you need to talk to her about it. Like talk to like telling production. Like this is unacceptable behavior. I've talked to her about it. You guys need to step in and do something. Like if we're talking there's like 10 instances, but not a single person has told production, I'm uncomfortable. Get her out of here. You need to talk to her. And it's not because those things get brought up all the time. Right? Those always get brought up. I mean, I feel like we've had a season where somebody was like, "Oh, I watched it. It was it was Infernal 3." And like the guys were all drunk one night and they like, came in and like Ace was like singing songs to like Susie and like scared her. And she said she felt threatened and started hitting him. And they had a conversation about it. And at the whole time, Ace was like all mad and sad because he's like never been hit by a woman. Like he's never done anything wrong. Like, why would you feel endangered by me even being in your, bed space at nighttime when I was just like drunkenly singing, like trying to be, playful. And he took that and said, I feel bad that I made somebody feel like that. Like, but they talked about it on the season. And we're talking 20 years ago, you know?
Right.
So it should still be prevalent now if somebody, because Susie was saying she felt unsafe to production. So they had that conversation, and it just, you know what I mean? So like I feel like that would happen here with Anissa as well.
You would
Yeah.
hope so, but we just haven't seen it. And
It's one of
sometimes
those things we find out a couple seasons from now, and we're like, "Oh,
oh, yeah,
man."
exactly. Um, I think I think it's just too much at this time. It's one thing when it was a rumor, several people has confirmed that it's happened, but also a lot of times when people are discussing it, it's kinda in a jokey mood, and if it's going to be applied, it's gotta be applied evenly across the board, but hey, that's where we're at. I'm always for waiting till more evidence is being made
Yeah.
clear before making a harsh decision. Now, let's talk about something terrible. Today's
Oh.
daily.
Oh,
Today's
okay.
daily what did you think it was gonna be?
I thought you were gonna dog on the elimination, but let's continue.
I oh, I fully plan on dogging the elimination.
I'm
That'll
on
be
the
next.
opposite side of everything, but
Okay,
let's talk about
daily.
Dark Mine
Dark Mind. Each challenger gets a book of a
matches.
book of matches with 6 of them in it. They have to go through a dark mine and have to navigate it. And then there's a game board with thousands of numbers on a table. These numbers are announced in a repeated fashion, and they have to mark off the numbers as they use the matches to see. That's the daily.
Okay, so here's the thing though.
The daily
From a
tests how well you can see in the dark with a match, like a Looney Tunes cartoon. I don't know.
But you have to find the answer, and you have to circle the correct answer. We see the people, I mean, we see not I mean, obviously the first team out ends up winning, but like Michaela and Cedric weren't the last team out. It was Nani and Justin. So like it did matter how well you did. It did matter if you could pick up the patterns, if you could remember the thing like Sydney kind of said she does. From a viewer perspective, it's boring. That's the problem. It's not a bad
That's the
daily.
problem.
It's boring for us to watch. But I will say the fact that they like for them it had to be a difficult challenge. That's the part, right? Are you afraid of the dark? Can you do a task when you're in the fear of the dark? Are you afraid of bugs?
It
Like,
did seem difficult.
yeah. So, and we saw two people fall and everything. One person kind of got hurt. So, I think personally that it was a good daily for the challengers, just not for the fans. That's what I believe.
I'm willing to give you that. I'm willing to give you that. It wasn't fun to watch. I thought it was cool watching them in the dark. You know, I was like, oh, wow, the letters on the challenge light up. They reflect. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Also realized the design flaw when I was doing the t-shirts. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. But besides that, I'm watching it and I just wasn't entertained. And it's always bad because I always have my phone with me because I like to take notes because I have a terrible memory. And I'm watching it. At some point, I just put my phone down.
Yeah.
I was like, no notes need to be taken. It's these guys fumbling in the dark. I didn't like it. I didn't
However,
like the way it looked. It didn't look. I mean, like you said, if I was there doing it, yeah, it's probably fun. I mean, who doesn't want to sprain their ankle against a huge rock in pitch blackness while a bat is fluttering above your head?
there's a reason why this was all done in the A block, though. I mean, think about it. We got all of our drama and our spiciness later on in the episode. So this
God,
was just an appetizer of like, this is just the challenge. Just be ready. We're getting you there. We're gonna because even like Michaela and Cedric getting last was kind of like they didn't even seem mad. They weren't up. It was just like,
I think they
yeah,
kind of knew.
they must have. But I mean, it was just kind of like, yeah, all right, they got last. Like it was just like, all right,
Not enough credit is given to Michaela for an amazing game she's playing this season too.
fantastic game.
Fantastic
Hmm.
gameplay. I really hope that she is one of the challenge mainstays going forward. You know, we gotten small tastes of her on Challenge USA and stuff, but really she needs her and Olivia and really too Michelle and Tori. These people need to be on the challenge going forward. If there is going to be a more challenge going forward. But I give this one a for me, I give it a D. I just
Yeah,
wasn't
viewership wise,
entertained.
yeah.
I just wasn't really with it. There was a part
It's
in
it's
the
not the worst
daily.
daily though. We've had some really gross days with food and everything,
Oh
so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
this
It
is not
definitely
that
wasn't the
bad.
worst. I don't. Yeah, it is definitely worse. But something happened during the daily that caught my eye, and it was Sydney saying like, "Oh, she notices she's figuring out something about
The
the way they do
patterns
the
and the
numbers.
numbers.
Like it's
Yeah.
a pattern's repeating." But I don't know. She like wouldn't anybody actually get that? She made it seem like she figured something out, and I was just like, well, what did you figure out? Because it's just repeating. You know, we the audience can also
Well, I
hear
think
this.
what it was repeating is that the majority of the numbers they were saying, because there was one they said that wasn't, but the majority of them had two of the same numbers in the three number sequence. So like it was like 131, 199. So when you're looking for numbers, if you see a set of three separate numbers, it's probably not your number. Granted, I did hear one time 102. That was one of the ones we heard, like Cedric and Michaela circle, I think. So the theory might be off, but the majority of them, I think, had the same number twice in it. So when you're looking down, if you're like, oh, it's 993, and you might like, here's what it is. As you're listening to it, you only have it for a couple seconds, right? So as you're looking and you're like, I know it was like 93, and you're like, what was the last one? Well, just look for 933 or 939 if you forgot what it was because another number's been said. So you could find that pattern, I think, and continue to search longer than that 5 seconds that they said it, is what I'm assuming. But again, I just out of the box, man.
Yeah, definitely out of the box.
Great
Now,
show.
let's
Sorry,
move
continue.
on to something almost equally as terrible, and that's the elimination. The elimination was tight quarters. They shoved two grown adults into an airplane bathroom and made them do two puzzles, and then made us watch.
So I saw one comment. It was like, I was waiting for turbulence. And I was like, yeah, that actually would have been good if they would have sort of had like, it just started shaking
Yeah.
and like something, and you had to like hold your pieces down. So that way, like you both couldn't solve the other puzzle at the same time. You had to hold your tangram down. Like, I don't know, something it could have been. Here's why I like it though. I just saw, because I put on Pluto TV, like when I'm like folding laundry and whatever challenge season's on, just watch. Double Agents was on. And almost every single daily or elimination that had like a puzzle type aspect, the entire crowd is helping who they want to win. So the people competing aren't even doing it. You
Yeah,
know,
but the crowd can't help an Graham.
I'm saying the crowd can't, well, actually they could. There is a very simple way to solve a tangram that people don't realize. The sides always mirror each other. The pieces might be different, but if you can cover one half at a diagonal, so like here's our rectangle. If you
Mhm.
can get this half down right here, it is going to, and then put all your pieces on top, it just flips back over. Almost all of tangrams do, but people get so panicky. I just want to say the fact that nobody could help, nobody knew who was winning was good. This was the opposite of the daily, where for the challengers, it probably wasn't that entertaining for them, but for us, the viewers, I guess not to you, but could you imagine if like Adrian and Theo got thrown into this one though?
That'd be terrible.
Right?
Theo's huge.
Yeah, Theo probably would have had to crouch down. But so my thought process was it was difficult, it was tight to do. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying
Where
to
did they
defend it as
get
best I can. It's a low tier elimination, but I do like the aspect that nobody up top could help. That's
Did like that too. Thank God that the nominations were so good and we got that face off, which
mhm.
also because there was so little in the A block, and we did spend a significant portion on the daily, the nominations also took up a big portion. I don't know why they didn't just fully show the daily.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Fully show the face off. The face off should have had more room too. Here goes the thing. I still thought it was a good episode, but really the nominations and the nominations really saved this thing. Really saved it. But besides
Yeah.
that, I was not impressed with this episode at all. Outside of one of the this season has been serving on nominations, man. And
I think
one of my
overall the
favorite
episode
parts.
was I think it was still an entertaining episode though. Like it's one of those ones where
Yeah, I
you're
would agree.
like on a rewatch, it's like this is an episode you need to watch just for that aspect. Because this type of like drama and gameplay and house talk and everything, you don't normally get that when there's 6 teams left because your
Also,
options are limited.
you're 100% right. Also, a lot of the stuff that happened during this nomination, the face off, was important.
Mhm.
Important people went home. Important people was fighting during nominations. Important people was in the face off. It was a very important episode, and that really what saves it.
Nobody
Speaking, no,
Oh,
go ahead.
no, I was saying nobody really talks about this, but like Olivia and Theo were kind of freaking out about like Yeremi staking a claim and everything. And I
Yeah.
believe the worry was that they were going to turn and vote Olivia and Yeremi in then. Because by that switch, Olivia wasn't protected with Will anymore from Nani. So I think that's where Theo's freak out comes from.
But that's what I thought was gonna happen.
That's
And
what
the
I
fact
thought
that
too.
it wasn't even sort of.
Yeah.
It just I was just it was wild. And I was like, Aviv, Aviv was getting pushy with like, well, you said my name. I'm gonna say your no, there's a quick save here. And like if you just pipe down a little bit and let the natural thing go, they might have went with Yeremi and Olivia, which made all the sense in the world. But
Well, and also I'm surprised he didn't stake a claim to be Nani's partner. What I think it came down to is I think he saw, I'm trying to think, loose ends, the last elimination wasn't, Weigh Me Up really wasn't physical. We haven't really had a physical elimination since we've had partners. I think Yeremy might have thought we are going to have a physical type of elimination. And instead of having a V versus Michaela, Olivia's a better matchup against Michaela if I have to go in. That's where I believe his mindset was. Because if he thinks Nani's a better player than Olivia, why wouldn't he just pick Nani?
real talk, Olivia can beat any one of those females in just
Yeah.
about any elimination. It's a safe bet. Yeah, I mean, really, we got what? Maybe one more episode. He really,
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to go to this final. He may have just bought himself the best partner to have.
I think so too. Especially the fact that like Michaela's hurt, Aviv's home. I think if you're talking about like physical strength, endurance, puzzle skills, like eating, like kind of just ability to kind of do whatever, I think Olivia is a really good chameleon that we don't talk about. Her ability to adapt. She might not be the best at any category, but
Hmm.
she is one of the best adapters on the
Yeah,
challenge.
she's really turning into like a
And
female
she's
bananas a
pregnant
little
right
bit,
now. Nobody knows.
bro.
Nobody knows where this extra strength's coming from.
All right. So very interesting. There's only 5 teams left. How do you got them ranked?
All right. So one thing before I dive into this, if Nani goes home next episode, we will have our first final with 0 real world or road rules people that are on the season. Now, Battle for a New Champion had none, but however, there was nobody cast on the season that was from road rules or real world. So this is the first season that we would have no OGs in a final. The closest, yeah. And that's just simple as that.
It was bound to happen at some point.
Right. Eventually, it was going to happen. So when we talk about teams, my power ranking right now is different because since we have teams switch up and everything, it's not about daily, it's not about elimination. This is who I think is going to win the final in this order. Like if they ran a final tomorrow, this is where I believe they would finish. I think there's still another episode. At number 5, I have Nani and Justin. I think they would get last. I don't think Justin can do. I don't know if he's ready for a final. I don't think this team can eat. I don't know if this team is physically strong. Um, that's the problem. I don't know where their strength is in this because like their strength this whole season has been what? Their social game. That gets you to the final. But when you look at other teams, you can be like, okay, Theo is really tall and strong and everything. Turbo can just go, Olivia, Michaela, I mean, they're physically strong too. Nani and Justin, I don't know what they would beat anybody in a final in. They're number 5 for me right now. Number 4 is
Makes
Theo and
sense.
Adrian. Theo and Adrian, they are potential injury away from jumping into the top 3. Theo and Adrian seem to kind of be building this momentum where they're just doing well constantly. And they kind of had the perfect season. I mean, normally I call it the perfect season from a championship earning your way is 3 elimination wins and a final win. That's like,
For some reason, I just can't. I think Theo and Adrian do see 5 eliminations, and I don't think they get through the 5th one.
yeah, because like obviously if you look at them against Yeremi and Olivia, I think Theo would just throw it to let
I,
Olivia go in.
let me tell you
I
something.
don't think they would beat.
Bold prediction right now. Next, they basically, and this is kind of 90's fault too. The next elimination is going to be Nani and Justin versus Theo and Adrian.
Or what if it's here? Playing out this scenario:
Okay.
Nani and Justin get last place in the daily,
Okay.
and Michaela and Cedric win the daily. Nani against Turbo is in that elimination because Theo and Olivia ain't voting for each other. Like
Mm.
that could happen.
It
That really
happens.
could happen. Or we get or the opposite. We could get Turbo getting last place and Nani winning, and Nani can't pick and everything. Now it's like Michaela and Cedric versus Turbo and
Still,
Sydney.
I still want to see the Turbo versus Theo,
I
and
do
I
too.
think if that happens, go ahead and make it a headbanger. This is a good time. I mean, come on, we all know that they have an edge on kind of
Yeah.
pushing toward certain things. I think this is the time you go like, this is when we bring out a balls in. I don't think whole brawl.
Sydney, Sydney and Turbo would get destroyed by Theo and Adrian in a hall brawl or a balls in. I man,
Oh,
I don't know.
it
So
would be so
okay,
great.
so let's get to my number three. My number three
Okay,
team is actually Michaela and Cedric. Now, this is a great team. Michaela's probably been the best overall performer this season, just overall. However, I don't know how bad that ankle is. We didn't get to see it in the elimination.
yeah.
And you make it to a final. We saw on World Championships, Theo rolled his ankle and it was enough for him to just, he's out. Can't run
Also,
anymore.
because of that ankle, it might put him right into the next elimination, depending on what it is.
Not just that, we also saw it with Nicole on final no, Vendettas. We saw Nicole hurt her
Hmm.
ankle, just
Or
out.
also with Anissa, with any time she's ever been
Double
there.
it, well, double agents. Okay, okay, but or ride or dies. But here's what I'm gonna say: that ankle injury, we don't know because you're constantly putting pressure on it. And in a final, you're gonna have to run. You're gonna have to bike. You're gonna have to swim. You're gonna have to carry something heavy. You're gonna have to go uphill in an incline. And when your ankle's bad, that's difficult. That is just pain and pressure every step.
And it'll probably
Num-
get worse.
Number two, Turbo and Sydney. They're getting their rhythm. I do believe that they're a little kind of protected from Nani. They could win the daily. However, if they don't win the daily, they're 100% going in. I don't think there's
100%.
any combination. The only way that they don't is if it's Turbo and Nani both finish second, third, or fourth. If they're both voting, that's the only way Turbo cannot go into elimination. But I
100%.
think,
Everybody knows he has to go
yeah,
in.
in a final though, Turbo's a different beast. We can talk about all this stuff with Turbo and whatever. Turbo's a different beast when it's A to B, get there, and he can do it.
So many mistakes with letting him get this far. So
Yeah.
many mistakes.
But
Y-
they got this far in All Stars 5 and they went just home right before it, number
Yeah,
5. So, um,
that
and
was
then
a
at
risk too.
number one, Olivia and Yeremi. I think right now they are the team to beat. I mean, Yeremi smoked Will, and I think Will's a really good competitor.
And Will was killing it this season.
Yeah, so overall, that team, if they right now, what I think is gonna happen is I think Yeremi and Olivia are gonna win the next daily. And then I think they're just gonna coast in, and it's like, here's a great thing though, too, right now. With Aviv going home, right now, there's 10 people left. We have 9 people that have never won a championship. We are guaranteed getting one, and we've got an 80% chance to get 2 new champions out of this season. So I'm kind of excited about that.
I am excited about
Um,
that too. Here goes the funny thing is, I think Yeremi and Olivia go to the final, and I don't think it's even going to be close. I don't think Turbo makes this final. Can't have him make this final. You got to somebody's going to take a shot now. And like I said before, you don't take a shot at somebody unless you're also going to put in somebody who can get the job done. And
mhm.
I think you have to, for the good of everybody, Theo, you're going to have to eat this one because
I'm telling
somebody's
you
going
right
to have
now,
to take him
though,
out.
if Yeremi wins this season with Olivia, he's going to go down as one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen. Because we have to talk about an aspect of from day one. We just talked about vendettas. This is vendettas all over again. We have this young, really physically fit guy that just smashed the opening daily to say, I am better than everybody, aka Joss.
Hmm.
And everybody talks, we got to get him out, got to get him out, got to get him out. And they couldn't get Yeremi out at all. If he wins the whole thing, being the number one target from the very beginning for how just physically imposing he is, it's one of the best rookie seasons. Because most rookie seasons that we like on this, the show, they kind of come under the radar. Oh,
Right.
Johnny Riley is able to flip over cards and never has to go into elimination. He's just here, But this one is like earned in. This next episode is going to be exciting because
So exciting.
somebody's bubble's getting popped, and simple as that.
100%. Well, That's going to do for us. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Once again, I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. This is Love, War, Challenges. Peace.
Bye.